So, hey guys, Chauzu here. Today we're going to be talking about the latest 6 Plus added to the game, which is the 6 Plus of V3 Lucci. And I'm gonna be real, this is a real disappointing one. The thing is that V3 Lucci on release was basically dead on arrival. V3 Lucci released just before the first Yamato Legend on Global. It was like a filler end of month legend for the Turtle Farm which we had before Pirate King Adventures. And that's basically the only time Lucci had any use at all. I know in the early days you could see him on some Dex teams in PvP, but I've always thought he was super bad in PvP. And as for PvE, like, his only valuable trait is removing all death up, but even that has never really been worth using. It's not like we get 99 turns of death up regularly, and he's not even the only unit who can do that, and out of them he's definitely not the best unit who can remove all death up, so yeah. Anyway, let's start by looking at what Lucci did in the past. This is the Lucci we're talking about, V3 Lucci. And yeah, V3 Lucci, Dex, Powerhouse and Fighter. So I do think he's changing classes, which means he could get a level limit break for his 6-star, but I've not heard of it, so I presume that's not happening. But yeah, his old captain ability, 5 times booster for Dex, Powerhouse and Fighter, 5 times attack I said, 1.5 times HP, greatly boosts crew chance of landing on own type slot, so good chance but definitely not guaranteed. And you get some bit of healing for every perfect you hit. So yeah, definitely not a remarkable captain. There's no reason to use this unit as a captain for the captain ability. Super type does some damage to all enemies, ignore defensive effects, which could be nice for wave clears potentially. Obviously issue is that you can only activate this when you get an ore boost, which kind of ruins that idea. You buff ore boost by plus 0.3 and Dex becomes super Dex. So yeah, you basically get very little value from the super type. This is probably one of the worst super types a legend has got, I'd say. And then we have the special as said, you remove all death up. Other than that, you do a lot of damage. You boost Dex, Powers and Fighter characters' space attack by plus 1000 for 1 turn. And they get a 2.5 times ore boost, and yeah. This has just never been worth using. I can never remembering wanting to put this Lucci on a team. Only time I've used him is probably when I try to be like Lucci captain teams, when I used like 2 Lucci as captains, and even then, not sure if he's better than the V1 Lucci, even, to be honest. So yeah, let's see what has changed with the 6 Plus. Like, one thing that's changed for sure is that the art is a lot cooler. Like, this art is pretty insane, I'd say. Like, is this like one of the first times we literally had blood in OPTC? But yeah, it's fitting for Lucci. Like, this is a pretty iconic scene, I feel, as well. At least I remember this, and I'm pretty bad at remembering stuff. But yeah, he's now a Dex Powerhouse shooter, so that's cool. See that shooter now, which is pretty fitting class for Lucci. We've had previous shooter legends for him. Captain ability now, he now has -1 CD. He now is 5.5 times attack boost instead of 5 times before. Still 1.5 HP. Still greatly boosts crew chance of landing on own type slots. I wish they increased that to basically be guaranteed, would have made him more unique. And if crew uses a special to boost orbs, you extend it by 1 turn. So they're basically going for the same thing as 6 Plus Luffy, like you just keep the buff for the final stage, or for 1 more stage you get more value out of the orb boost. You heal more when hitting perfects, and you also heal a bit when transitioning stages, so yeah, he got a bit more reason to be used as captain now, not that much though, I'd say. But it's cool that they kept the fighter for his captain and added shooter. Gives you a bit more variety if you for some reason want to use this Lucci as a captain. Super type, Same damage as before. You now buff the ore boost by plus 0.5, so it's a bit better than 0.3, but this is a very minuscule buff. In my opinion, they should have added an attack boost as well. That would have been something at least. As for the special, still removes all death up. They have also added, he removes burn, so like that's more utility. It gives you more reason to use him. And it does help as well that Lucci does have quite a few support, so the more utility you add to him, the more he can help. He does even more damage now to all enemies. He boosts Dex, Power Out Shooter and Fighter Character's base attack by plus 1750 for 2 turns. So he's a better value and for 2 turns. I think it should have been 3 personally, since they're building him so you can extend ore boost. So might as well make the base attack extension free, I'd say. If you have, don't even remember what that buff is called. It's extra tap timing damage, something like that. If you have it when the special is launched, you further increase the base attack boost by plus 250. And then after that, you get that buff yourself, extra tap time damage, 200 times character attack in non-type damage, top of tap time bonus for 3 turns, so that's pretty cool. We don't really get content anymore where this helps, but it's interesting at least. If crew has an ore boost when special is launched, you increase all enemies damage taken by 2 times for 2 turns. Otherwise, you get an ore boost for Dex, Power, Shooter, Fighter 2.75 times for 2 turns. So basically trying to make it so that you can run double Lucci. Not that you should ever want to run double Lucci, but if you do, you can get 2.7 times ore boost. You can buff it with the super to 3.25 times. The ore boost becomes 4 turns if you run 2 Lucci. If you run the more reasonable one, it's a 3 turn ore boost, which is still reasonable, of course. You get that plus 1750 base attack boost. And then if you run a second one, it becomes a whooping 2000 base attack boost. Yeah, not the best extra. Well, you can get increased damage taken, which is cool, I guess, but it doesn't ignore full immunity. Like, if it did, could have had some legit uses. Now, not that sure. Like, still, you can't really rule out using Lucci now, since increased damage taken is hugely relevant. And since he actually has some utility on top of that, and pretty unique utility, there might be cases where his utility and the ability to get increased damage taken buff could be used. So it's definitely better, but basically a legend that was dead on arrival doesn't need a minor buff. It needs basically a rehaul, something like the cat and dog duo unit got, who was so bad and now are still a hugely influential speedrunning unit. And I don't think Lucci got that, which is pretty disappointing. Yeah, I definitely think he deserved better. As for PvP, basically no changes. The sprite is sick though. Resistances or whatever. And as you see there, it's also a bit whatever. So yeah, there's still basically no reason to use him in PvP. I don't feel like there's much to say. One thing I can say is that they're really trying to push Dex Fighter, and now they removed Fighter from him, so he's can't be used for Dex Fighter, which is kind of ironic. But for PvP, the Shooter does nothing. Fighter will have helped more here, but otherwise I think Shooter is fun. That could give him some potential more use. Like, Shooters need all help they can get, so it definitely makes him stand out more by being a shooter. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.